Good evening, fellow Ambazonians. Greetings to you, the brave people of Ambazonia. It takes a committed, a few dedicated patriots to change a society, to free a people, to transform a community, and to give freedom, liberty, and dignity to a people. It's been a while. We've had a conversation with the founding father of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the Ambazonian Governing Council, the barefoot soldier, Sheikh Kavi. Many of you know who Sheikh Kavi is, but most of you also don't really know who he is, what he's done in furtherance of the Ambazonian liberation struggle, the contribution and the sacrifices he's made in building the Ambazonian Defense Forces, in helping in the launching of the armed resistance against Cameroon occupation, the sacrifices he's made in the building of the nationalist movement, the Ambazonian Governing Council, the many trips he's made to the territory in building camps and training the brave warriors that are leading the charge of Ambazonia's freedom today. Last week, he was where? He was in Finland. To do what? To sign a declaration to bear witness and to recognize the Declaration of Independence of the United States of the Biafran people. He made a speech that captures the international system. Today we have him here in the studio. Let him tell us what he's been up to. The barefoot soldier, the father of the ADF, DDC, Sheikh Kavi Womelen, the man from Iso. Good afternoon, DDC, or good evening to you.
Good afternoon or good evening to you, folks. Yeah, please do.
Yeah, please do, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure being hosted by you. Your smile alone can keep someone going and fighting and fighting and fighting. Want to make sure that I help you with that smile so that all other Amazonians will smile with us tonight or this afternoon or this morning, whatever the time will be, at your various corners. Here is Sheikh Ali Ali, your barefoot soldier. I call myself the bulldozer, and we are here to save you. We are here to also listen to you, and we are here to help us direct you. And we are here to make sure that we talk in synergy. We are here to make sure that you understand what the struggle is all about. We are here to make sure that you stand on a strong foundation. We are here to make sure you follow good road, a correct road, not like any other road like people have been saying. So it is always a pleasure to be on ACN TV. This is our platform. This is our TV. It is for us by us, and we have to make sure that we get it going to educate, to sensitize, and to make sure that we pass our voices out there for the international community or whoever cares to listen. So once again, I'm very happy to be here, and thanks to the technical team that have given us this time to air our views and to talk together as a community. Thank you so much, Mr. Spokesman.
Well, thank you so much, DDC, for making the time. It's actually a great honor uh, having you on a live interview today. Let's dive to it. About a week ago, you made a trip to Finland. Just a few days after the the prime minister of the Biafran government in exile was taken into custody by the Finnish government. What made you decided to go to Finland? Were you not afraid you're also going to be picked up?
That's a strong question. It's a good question. It's something that is you are born with, and if you are afraid and everybody is afraid, then nobody does the job. So the job must be done. And what should I be afraid of when guys are then defending homeland, holding AKs, being bombarded every day, villages are being burnt, mothers are being killed and burnt their houses, girls are being raped, and I'm here and I'm afraid just to move from here to Finland. That is preposterous. It's something that only an iguana should be thinking of doing. Once you are a soldier, you are a soldier, not leave from a soldier. Our leader, the leader of this revolution, Dr. Chokukas is a soldier and he's being held captive by the Norwegians and he's fighting. He's on the war front. So I am here with hands, lips, and everything. I didn't even think twice going to represent Ambazonian in such a historical declaration. You know, it is a pleasure, and I want to say I thank the Government Council for having given me an opportunity instead to.
DDC, can you just put on your thought there? Let's check with the studio. Your voice seems to be spotty. So let's check with the studio. Studio, can you check his microphone to make sure that we have his voice is very static?
I think I know what is happening. Let me see.
Okay.
Is it okay now?
You're 100% clear now, sir.
You see, sometimes I think I have a little idea on these things also.
All right. Well, that helps.
All right, thanks a lot. I'm sorry for that echo in the background. There was something on that I've connected on my outer speaker, so it was sending echo back into the studio. So I want to believe everybody heard what I was trying to say, and
not really. I guess you have to repeat yourself now.
Are you sure I can say what I said already again? Because it's just coming. All right, like I was saying, you asked if I was not afraid being arrested going to Finland, and I was like, oh, why should I be? I have commissioned men and women who are defending homeland with AKs. They are being bombarded every day. Villages are being burnt. Mothers are being killed. And women are being raped by La République du Cameroon. There is genocide going on, ethnic cleansing. Farms are being burnt. Animals are being burnt. And just to move from here to Finland, and I'm afraid then it's preposterous. It's like something that I cannot even think about. I cannot think of being afraid when it comes to that. Instead, I should be thanking the AGLC for having given me that opportunity to represent us in an historical event like the one that happened in Finland. We are here, and our leader the leader of this Ambazonian revolution is in jail in Finland, being incarcerated in Finland. Yeah, in Norway. Sorry, I'm talking because we're talking about Finland. In Norway, and he's also in a battle. That's war. He's fighting. He's a soldier, and I'm also a soldier. So I don't see why I should be afraid out here going to Finland to represent us in such a historic event. It was a pleasure for me doing that. I'm a soldier, and if I'm afraid, then who will? And if we are afraid, then who will do the job? We all have to stand up, because this thing we have said and we have pledged, it is to do it as if the whole issue depends on you alone. And we are all playing individual little part to make sure that we have that pudding on the table for our children to eat tomorrow. And I believe in it.
Before we go into your speech, let's just take the Ambazonian people to the home front to know what Ambazonian forces, the men and women you trained, you brought up, you educated, the tenacity, their defiance, their focus, the sacrifices they're making on the battlefield. Let the studio bring us that video first, the video from the state of Bui, where two La Republique trucks were taken out at the same spot. Help us with the video that came up from the state of Bui.
Today, the 7th of December. Today, the 7th of December. Now, see La Republique them again. Now, see them now. Now, see them now. A general want your life. Shake in no day. Shake in no day. I don't bump them. I don't scatter them. It's second target. General want your life. Shake in no day. I see second target. I see second target. And I see second target.
This is bravery like never before. These are your children. These are the men and women you raised. How do you feel seeing them teaching the Bulu occupation forces what it means to be an Ambazonian?
First and foremost, I want to give respect and military salute, military honors to General Wonyo and team for the magnificent job that they did. And you asked me how I feel. I will say I think my feeling is 300% above that of a man who gives birth to a son or to a daughter, to a child, let me say it like that. And the child attained the PhD level and discovered something that is very useful for mankind. You see the joy that that parent will have during the graduation day or during the day that they're acknowledging the creativity of the child. You know, the father is like, he's overwhelmed. I think too much sagarin can kill him. I think I'm a little bit above that level because the joy that I have seeing what I'm seeing it cannot be put into books or into words. Even you bring Lord Tennyson, he will be short of words to put down as far as the joy that I have when I see all of this is concerned, because this is just exactly what they are trained to do, to defend their land, to defend their mothers, to defend their fathers, to defend their sisters from being raped, to defend their villages from being torched, from being roasted by this enemy occupation regime from Cameroon, and to make sure that they send a strong message back to Cameroon that take your kids home or receive them in body bags.
Or maybe there will be no body bags. Because
that would be the best. That would be the best thing. That would be the best thing, and we will be arriving that level where there will be no body bags, because we still do not have the remains of some of our soldiers, brave men and women that these guys ferried away, tortured, killed, and buried in mass graves in an evil territory, in an evil ground. We would have loved to get them and let them take their respective places in the virgin Ambazonia.
Thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for all that you continue to do for the Ambazonian people, the foundation you have laid for a free Ambazonia, for the future of Ambazonia, and for the destiny of Ambazonia. No one can pay you, but I think that the Creator, God, the universe, who brought you here, who gave you this sense of purpose, the pain that you've gone through, all of us have gone through, that have nurtured this seed of freedom. And for all those that are paying the price, that are in the battlefront, we thank you enormously for the courage and for giving the Ambazonian people the dignity they deserve. Let's go to Finland. What took you to Finland?
I would say the revolution took me to Finland. The love for brotherhood took me to Finland. I went to Finland because we found ourselves interwoven between two enemies, Cameroon and Nigeria. And I went to Finland because we must help each other. The Ambazonian people must stand side by side. I'm sorry. Go to Mama. The Ambazonian people must stand side by side with their people, with their brothers of Biafra. I'm sorry. Let me. You should just give me a minute.
Maybe need your attention.
Hey, Jolafei, Kiwa, will you want? The Biafran government in exile extended an invitation to the Ambazonian Governing Council for the declaration of independence, which was to take place in Finland. We had worked together to make sure that we defend our respective territory, and there was need for the Ambazonian delegation to represent Ambazonia in that declaration to make sure that we are there to witness it and to be amongst the first nations that we're going to recognize the territorial integrity of Biafra, which we did with joy, and to make sure that whatever we had been planning before this declaration stays as we had planned in terms of defense, communication, economy, and whatsoever. So I went there to make sure that that whole package is realized during that declaration. And I want to tell you, we realized even more than what we were expecting, because the fruit of this declaration is already out there, and some of you have been seeing the various movements that are taking place in some parts of the border between Biafra and Ambazonia. Because never again shall we allow the zoo, the Nigerian military, to come close to our borders, or to allow the Cameroon terrorists to come close to our borders in order to use food like economic weapon, to starve the people of Biafra, like they did in the 60s. So that was the reason why I went there, to make sure that all of these are realized, and that we make sure that the Biafrans understand that we will stop anything Cameroon from making a blockade around that border that can stifle them when they start defending themselves.
Okay, let's.
What is this?
We would like the studio to help us with the DDC make a speech as a representative of the Ambazonian people, as a representative of the Ambazonia Governing Council, and as the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, representing the Ambazonian people. He made a speech, and we would like the Ambazonian people, we would like the TV to play us a segment of that speech, please.
Sheikh Gavi is the barefoot soldier. He is the founding father of the Ambazonian Governing Council and the Ambazonian Defense Forces, Ambazonian representative of the Biafran Alliance. Now, the friends, I would like us to give a loud round of applause to Honorable Sheikh Gavi, Ambazonian Governing Council.
Biafra, oh Guinea. You were jam then. My dear brothers and sisters, the Biafran government in exile, Mr. Prime Minister here present, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu here present, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba here present. I want to say I am Sit down, please. Thank you so much. Thanks for that honor. Thanks for the reminder, Dr. Joy. Like I was saying, it's a pleasure for me to be here this evening and to address a crowd as big as this one. This is what we call defiance. This is a very strong message to Finland. That you have trampled on all the rivers of darkness, and you have trampled on all what was holding all of you back to be here. There are so many Biafrans watching us on TV, not because they couldn't come here, but because they were afraid. So with this mammoth crowd, Finland should be shaken. Those who are behind Finland should be shaken. I'm so sorry that I am not somebody who is good in putting words together. I am not a person who talks too much, so I'm going to be very, very short. I'm going to be talking only for 2 hours. Yes. While in the bus, I was shocked when I was in the bus and I met a certain young lady in the bus who is 82 years today. She's somewhere. She's 82. That was not the most shocking part. I met Biafrans who are physically challenged, but they told themselves this history cannot go without them. Please give them a hand. I saw how they were struggling to get into their berths, and I was like, this is defiance. In the first order, it is something to be happy about. I see fine men and women present here to write their name in that history in the making. That history is ours, and it's ours to claim. Ladies and gentlemen, before you didn't know that Biafra would be a spirit like this. But today you have shown Finland, Norway, and all the other hypocrites in Europe who think that arresting our leaders is democracy or it is human right, that they are ashamed. Finland, Norway are a disgrace to Europe. I am always very raw, I don't sugarcoat my words. So, ladies and gentlemen,
DDC, how long did it take you to prepare this speech?
oh God, you know,
see, is it something that you prepared for weeks and weeks and weeks, or this is something that came from your spirit?
No. You see, I was not even, the time I paid my flight was the eve before. Yes, the eve before I went to Finland because of some logistics. So I didn't even know who would attend. I was thinking like maybe it would be the VP and this, but the VP was caught with a cold, as you all know, and his voice was bad. So it was imperative that I have to go there. But I think I had a speech that was written and sent to my inbox by our most reverend, and
yes.
I looked at it. I'm not good at this writing speech and all of those things, so I just knew that when I arrived there, I would do my thing. I am not good at preparing something before it happens. I'm just good at improvising as I read the situation. So to tell you that I prepared something, it will be a lie. So when they called me, I climbed up there. I know that I'm a revolutionary leader. I know that this is the reason why we are here. I know that this is the focal point, and so I know what to touch. I had felt it. I've lived it. It is in me. The pain is in me. It will always be in me until I find myself in a free Ambazonia. So each time you get me up to say something within that scope, I'll be able to say something. But if you remove me out of that scope and put me somewhere and start talking science or anything, then I'm lost. But when it comes to this, I don't think I really need to prepare, because it's almost the same thought.
You delivered a very
yes.
You delivered a touching speech. Very touching.
Oh, I'm happy. But if you ask me to repeat it, I cannot.
Well, because it came from the heart.
I only remember that when I was talking and hitting Norway, Finland, and Europe too hard, because that room was wired to the way that the Finnish police were listening to what we were saying. Yeah. So
wow.
There were security agents around without their nonsense on their ear. So one of them spoke and to the other one, and the guy left, spoke to the other lady of, I think, the protocol officer of the Biafran government. Yeah. And then the lady came and spoke to my ear and said, Finland is very angry.
Tone it down.
You have to tone it down. If not, they're going to pull the plug. I should tone it down. That it's not they don't want. It's not their fault. That blah blah blah. So when she spoke like that and left, that is when you see there was a place I said, when it comes to Africa, the revolution of Africa and what we have gone through, I'm a dog that cannot be tamed. That somebody must stand and look at these guys eyeballs to eyeballs and tell them what we think. and that all of us would die, but something must kill a man. I think you have listened to that place. That was my response now when that lady spoke to my ear, and I said it to the hearing, and I continued on the same note. So that I'm so happy that I even heard that, because it means my information was passed.
So what is that? Is that defiance? Is that something that it comes with experience? Is that something that comes because you believe in the freedom of the Ambazonian people and the rights of the Biafran people? Is that something that comes from you just being stubborn? Where does that come from? Where does it come from?
I will not see myself as stubborn. I will see myself as a gentleman, a fine gentleman that has been pushed to the wall. And when you have been pushed to the wall, the only thing you have to do is to face your enemy, is to face your obstacle face to face and move forward. So I was moving forward. I will not say it was only a defiance. It was war. When I left Belgium, I knew I was going for a war. It was a war front. So I better be prepared. And I fought the war the way I knew I could fight best. And I'm happy that they heard what I said and it touched them. If it touched them, it means there was an information. And I told them how hypocritical they all are. These are the same people raising funds to support Ukraine. Finland is one of the highest countries in Europe that are supporting Ukraine in terms of ammunition and logistics. Ukrainians can meet anywhere in Europe in a fine gathering and raise funds to support their soldiers. But Black people, Ambazonians, cannot. What is the difference between the marching of Russia into Ukraine and the marching of La République into Ambazonia? These are two different people. We have different boundaries separating us, same like Ukraine and Russia. So I didn't see any reason why they should be doing that, and then they are trying to censor us or trying to arrest human rights activists who are making sure that they put a better, bring up a better country for their children tomorrow. So to me, tomorrow is still very hypocritical. I cannot get it. I cannot understand it.
What's good for white people is good for Black people. What's good for Ukraine, it's good for Ambazonia. What's good for Ukraine, it's good for Biafra, right?
Yeah. Good.
This is a conversation we're supposed to be having in the media. This is the conversation.
Yeah.
To get the message out. So you've said it. We appreciate you so much. Now, let's dive into it. You signed as a representative of the Ambazonian people, of the Ambazonian Governing Council and the forces. You signed the declaration in support of the Biafran independence. You also signed an MOU with the Biafrans. Now you tell us, over the last probably a year and a half or so, we've seen a lot of activities. How has the alliance between the Biafrans and Ambazonians, how has it helped in furtherance of Ambazonian resistance against Cameroon's occupation and the liberation? In practical terms, not rhetorics.
Okay, in practical terms, you will notice that Nigeria had a friend in Cameroon, and Cameroon had a friend in Nigeria. The two governments were working together to make sure that they suffocate Ambazonia. And we didn't have a friend or a brother along that stretch, along the Nigerian stretch. So as God will do her things, the Biafrans started agitating, getting pregnant. And once you are pregnant, the only thing you can be expecting, and you really work for the pregnancy, is to deliver. So we saw that Biafrans were really pregnant and they were eager to give birth. We are also pregnant and we are eager to give birth. but we were pregnant in this present moment before Nigeria. So we have more experience dealing with this pregnancy. So we were happy to sign this memorandum of understanding between the people of Biafra and the peoples of Ambazonia to make sure that the affinity, the love that Cameroon and Nigeria both have will not be as smooth as it was before. There must be friction on both levels. I mean, heavy friction that the Ambazonian people will be giving the La Republique occupation the necessary friction that they can no longer enjoy the romance with Nigeria that were suffocating our people and suffocating Biafrans. And that the Biafrans' resistance will make sure that they instill enough friction on Nigeria that they will no longer have that romance that they had with Cameroon that were suffocating our people. Because, our people were being arrested like flies in Nigeria by the Nigerian government and sent to Koningi maximum concentration camps. You have the Ayokta base and the rest. But with the Biafrans working along that level now, the Biafran military is concentrating now on defending themselves. They don't have that luxury anymore to go around fishing our people. And so there is some calm as far as our people seeking refuge in Biafra now is concerned. So when logistically we exchange ideas, we help each other to make sure that whatever is manufactured here is also manufactured there, and we interchange ideas and experiences. So we are we're in a very good footing, and we all know that we also know that the Nigerian military, the Biafran military, is working very hard along the Bakassi axis to make sure that La Republique occupiers are running heta-scatter. So that is also stressing the La Republique military, that we are stressing them in Bakassi, stressing them in Dian, stressing them in Bui, stressing them in Momo, stressing them in Kwak. We are stressing them now all over. So it makes it difficult for them now to concentrate those they are barbarians on one area. They need to send, to expand, to send to so many places. And they also have problems in the north. So we are making sure that we stress them so much. I will tell you that the Biafran military are working hand in glove with us, controlling Inamba, they are controlling Abana, controlling Idabato, controlling Ikang up to Achibong in the Bakassi area there. And if you've been following the news, you will know that just within we are now in December. From mid-November till now. From mid-November till today, Cameroon has lost more than 45 of these their barbarians in the Bakassi axis. They have lost, they have lost more than 45 soldiers. And when you come to look at them, they're very young guys of 17, 18, 19 years, kids who have nothing to eat, and the only thing that can put food on their table is to go and join B, to go and be fighting in the foreign land. That's why we are telling the parents of these kids in Yaoundé or in La République du Cameroon to ask their government to call their kids back home. If not, they might see them and they might not see some. Because every day shit is happening there. So when also in the economy, we are struggling to make sure that we build the best economy that can exist in Africa. You know, the Biafrans are very industrious people when it comes to economy and all of those things. And we are trying to make sure that we build a fine economy between both nations that will be beneficial to all, to both nations. Maybe a free trade zone and a change of ideas and whatsoever. So when it comes to communication, we're also working hand in glove to make sure that we have a good communication strategy that can help both nations. I think the economic department is linked up with their own economic department. The communication department is linked up with their own communication department, and they are fine tuning, a better strategy how they can both help the people. So this memorandum of understanding that we signed is something that should be very, very beneficial to both nations, because they are the only brothers we have as a neighbor, and we are the only brothers that they have as a neighbor. And we have a lot of economic resources that we have to protect together as a people. So we need to start building that connaissance, let me use that word, that friendliness and understanding each other, and that's it.
So, the alliance between Ambazonia and the Biafra have achieved a milestone in keeping Nigerian, the security forces, their military intelligence forces, their police forces, in keeping them busy, dealing with the issues of insecurity and the uprising in Biafra, instead of Cameroon tapping into the resources of these intelligence services, police services, and fishing out Ambazonians who are in Biafra or in Nigeria for the purposes of the liberation. And secondly, they were also being used in the Bakassi Peninsula in order to stop Ambazonians' liberation activities within that axis. So this is significant.
We had cases of the Nigerian military attacking Amazonian soldiers in the Bakassi area, but now, as the Biafrans came out, defeated them, and they have blocked the border, because the border now between Ambazonia and Biafra is occupied by the Biafran military. So now the Nigerian military is far away back. So now we have some free space to breathe. And now they are coming and working with us to get Cameroon.
A couple of weeks ago, the Cameroon occupation government announced that the Biafran resistance has led to the arrest of a Cameroon colonial deal in what is that place called? Idabato. And I think it's now 2 months. It's been 2 months. His family hasn't seen him. They don't know where he is. The Nigerian government cannot account for where he is. The Cameroon government cannot account for where he is. This is huge, what this alliance has achieved in terms of giving Nigeria a hard knock to crack and mounting more pressure on the very limited resources of the Cameroon military. So the work that you're doing, it's incredible how your brain and the brain of leaders of Ambazonia Governing Council, in terms of your strategic thinking and orientation, how it works. This is marvelous. Thank you very much. Now let's move to.
Let me just say something concerning that deal, guy.
Go ahead. Go ahead, DDC.
For the sake of the record, I might Cameroon don't know where the deal is. Nigeria don't know where the deal is, and I tell you, I don't know also where the deal is. For the record, and but I am not sorry for what has happened to the deal because gendarmes and police are under the direct control of the deal, of deals and SDOs. So all the brutality that is happening in Ambazonia, these are the people that are giving the orders for those brutality, for those madness to be committed. And if they can be fed with their own excrement, then it is their own excrement. So for me, I don't have any remorse for what has happened to him. In fact, sometimes when I feel bad, I go to the video where the same guy is shouting when I think they tied him somehow. That is just like, that was just a fly touching him, because if this guy see what they are doing to Ambazonia, what his gendarmes and policemen are doing to Ambazonia, and the B, the worst is the B, trained by America, trained by Joe Biden. Can you imagine? If they see what these guys are doing to Ambazonians, you will not sorry any of these guys.
Well, this is war. Your mic, we can't hear you. Your microphone, sir. Check your mic.
No, I think it's okay.
All right, we can hear you now. As you've stated, the SDO, the DO, they are responsible. They are in charge of all military activities, of all security activities, of all military operation in the various areas of their responsibility. So they are not civilian. A DO is not a civilian. An SDO is not a civilian. They are trained in the Cameroon Military Academy. Right? So nobody should say a DO is a civilian. They are not. They are part of the Cameroon military infrastructure. So DDC, let's move to the area of another interest, and that is the work that you've done on the ground. The Commander-in-Chief of Ambazonian Liberation, the leader, is in custody today. It's undergoing interrogations. How have you been able to
Can you tell those guys to stop?
How have you been able to keep the forces and the Ambazonian people focused on the objective of the liberation?
I think there is some lagging. I don't know if you're getting it from your end there. There is.
All right, we had some technical issues in the studio, and it's been taken care of by our technicians. And thank you very much. DDC, can you hear me
Thank you so
clearly?
much. Yeah.
All right.
I think I'm good now. I was like,
Okay.
what is going on?
the devil is a liar. It's La Republique. All right. I wanted to ask you before the interruption. We've done extremely well. The Ambazonian people, the resilience of our people, it's unmeasurable. Their commitment to freedom, the sacrifices that they've made. The commander-in-chief that has inspired the generation is now under detention and undergoing interrogations. How have you been able to maintain the focus of the brave men and women? How have you been able to maintain their momentum, their spirit, considering the fact that the lion, their leader, it's under detention?
Okay. You see, if I tell you that the arrest of the leader hasn't distort us a little bit, it will be a lie. What Norway has done for this revolution is something that I don't know if I can ever forgive. Because the truth is, I was thinking a few days ago, I'm like, when this thing shall be over and these people start running into Ambazonia, that they are doing their so-called fact-finding, and at the end they realize what they knew already, that genocide has been committed, and they start saying, we are sorry. Will that sorry bring back our brothers and sisters that we have lost because of their silence? Will it bring back our people that we have lost because of their romance with the so-called regime that they want it to be normal? I'm like, will Norway start saying sorry to Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba when Dr. Cho Ayaba has lost fine men and women because of the romance between Norway, or the hypocrisy of Norway and Europe in general? Would they be saying we are sorry, like they did during the Rwandan genocide? These are the questions that are coming to my head, and it's difficult to answer because Norway don't know what they are doing. Or if they know, then they are making a very big mistake. Because I am sorry will be too expensive to hear. It will be an expensive word for us to hear. So let them do the right thing. So you were asking how we are doing in GZ concerning the incarceration.
Maintaining focus on the forces.
Yes, in maintaining focus on the forces. You know, when you find yourself in an organization with a leader that already knows what he is doing, he builds a foundation together with you that is strong and solid. The foundation of the AGOC ADF is not from the leaves. The leaders are just the leaves. The foundation is from the roots. So when you cut the leaves, the roots are still very intact, very strong, and they are growing. It will take some time but new leaves will come up. So the foundation that Dr. Cho Ayaba laid is a very strong one, because we are a council, and in that council is not a one-man show. There must be somebody like a leader, but it is a council where all of us sit, we discuss, everybody's ideas are brought together, then we build some solid structure like what we have built. So it is this notion, this foundation, that is making our fine men and women defending homeland to be strong, because they already knew, and the leader already prepared them, that we are living in a mad world where shit happens at any time. Be prepared that if someday you hear that the leader is not here, you march on, you carry on. So once you start building the psychology of your soldiers in that manner, even if you are not there, but rest assured that your kids will see that freedom that will be brought by those that you have implanted that psychology of stability in them. I want to believe that each soldier back there in Ambazonia has that psychology of stability. They have that strength, they have that power to go on while praying that no way do the right thing. They know that it is their duty to defend homeland because they had been prepared for it. So it is the only thing that is shaking is just that physical absence, that he's not there. But they know that spiritually his words enkindled in all of them like any magma, and that's why you see the exploding every time. You see the exploding, the explosion these days is still without the leader. The leader is still incarcerated, but you see how they're exploding. They're exploding all over, everywhere. And they are also strong because they know that behind the leader, there is a leader. They know that there is a fine gentleman.
Many other leaders.
Yes. They know that there is a fine gentleman called Dr. Nyih, who is, or maybe even more, into strength and power than even the people some of these European people are afraid of, you know. So, and behind him, there is another, and there is another. You see, so our guys are able to be strong because of the kind of hierarchy that we have put in place. Because down there, they also have their own hierarchy that they are following. That's why you see, you cannot take up any top person and then you see them wanting. When you take out any top person, they're still going, because the hierarchy for us is just a figurehead. What keeps them going is that fire in them to be free.
Is it something? Is it something that was built from the beginning, or is it something that you build along the way, or is it something that you built within them just recently? Is this organic?
No, my brother. This must be from the foundation. It must be from the roots. It started from daddy. The type of psychology, the type of preaching, let me put it like that, that we gave them, is that's where they took that foundation from. And once it is in you and you get into action, you can only build on it. You know, you can only add more as you go on in action, making sure that you take what you had in daddy and then you situate it to where you are now, and you build again on it. But we still keep on within the War Council, talking to them and building them to make sure that they still follow that steps and still stand on the right track. That is why we also have the code of conduct for them, that is also guarding them, is also putting them again on that track. I will tell you one thing. There is something that is going on that many people don't know. You see, we out here, we do not make decisions for them somehow. Like if they arrest somebody, the decision on what to do is back there, back home. Because each barrack, they have created their judiciary. They have created their judiciary. In that judiciary, you have some people from the area, then you have some soldiers, and then you have witnesses and whatsoever. And that is how they make their decisions on what to do with an enemy. Because some people think that we sit here and say, oh, do this, oh, do that. No. We have instilled in them that venom. We have given them the code of conduct, and they all understand what the Geneva Conventions and other related brothers and sisters are talking about. So they are fine men and women, and we know that even if without the leader, they can still march forward to make sure that even in our graves, this land that we call ours will be ours.
I think we are back facing the same problem again. There is we are back to the same technical difficulties again.
I think there is an enemy fighting our
system. Your message is too strong, so La Republic is trying to attack the system.
Like here, I still see myself still talking, but I was done like 2 minutes ago.
Okay. We're having some interruptions. Are we okay now? DDC, can you hear me?
I hear you 5 on 5 now.
All right. Let's wrap this up because I think the studio has been attacked. You've done very well in terms of the War Council stabilizing. All right, DDC, go ahead and just give us your closing remarks. The studio is overwhelmed. It's been under severe
oh my God.
virus.
All right. Yeah. What I wanted to say here is I find so many Ambazonians and so many international organizations. Do you hear me? Spokes. Oh my goodness.
Yes, DDC, we can hear you. It's the interruption is still in effect.
Yeah, we are lagging. Yeah, the studio is sending information that we are lagging, and it's true, we are really lagging. I don't know what is happening.
All right, DDC, let's call it off here so that the studio can take care of the studio. You've done great.
Be a malware. There's a malware somewhere.
Yeah, we apologize to our audience for the technical issues. The message is very powerful and very strong. The enemy is afraid of what we are doing and what we are afraid. I mean, of what we are doing. I think it's good now. All right, let's give our closing remarks. You should just help us with the remarks.
Yeah, the closing remarks. I wanted to talk on two things.
Go ahead.
The first thing will be about tax. You have noticed that La République du Cameroon, that they have taxed everything in Cameroon, including in Ambazonia, where everybody must declare their taxes. You are a student, you declare tax. You don't declare, you have no ID card, you have no passport, you cannot fly out of Cameroon, of that hell. You cannot do nothing. You are pregnant, you go to the hospital, and you have not declared your tax. No doctor will look at you. Nothing will happen. You cannot function. You cannot create an ID. You cannot create a bank account if you don't show the declaration of your tax and all of those things. That is what these guys are doing. It shows you how bad the situation is. It shows you how much they have crumbled economically. It showed you that Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba is somebody that, even if you want to write a book on him, that book would be like 458 million pages. Economic sabotage is a word that has scared these guys to the bushes, because the economic sabotage that we have done is making Cameroon to creep today. And like you rightly said in your intro, if they, is it the death chair? That if Cameroon want to stay as Cameroon, they better leave us go, else they will creep while walking out. Because you can just look at the nonsense. And I send this now relating to some Ambazonians who were attacking Ambazonian tax. Tax that Ambazonians pay to make sure that our fine men and women defend homeland. Some of them were attacking and making all type of audios. Here is Cameroon taxing pregnant women and those who are sick. Everybody, if you want to fly out, you cannot fly until you pay a tax. No audio. So you know that anybody that was attacking the Ambazonian taxation system is a pro-worker of Cameroon, because this one now is fine for them. So then the second thing I wanted to say was the notion of Anglophone problem. This thing, it pains me a lot. How they can reduce a colonial problem to an Anglophone problem. When I find them making sure that the international organization think that the problem in Ambazonia is between English and French, it makes it is so painful to me, because this, and I don't think, oh God, because my great grandmother in the village don't speak English, but this is his problem. This is her problem. So when you say it is an Anglophone problem, you include her inside or not? When people were voting to form a federation with Cameroon, they were not voting to form that federation as Anglophone versus La République du Cameroun. These people had an identity, they had a territory, they were a people. They called at that time the British Southern Cameroons. The Southern Cameroonians, which we have baptized Ambazonians because we don't want anything that has got the name of those of a crown. You know, these people came together as a people. And so when you reduce this colonial problem, annexation, neo-colonialism to an Anglophone problem between English and French, then you belittle what it is. It is just one of the causes of what we are fighting for. It is not the main problem. The main problem is neo-colonialism. One country.
DDC, it should not pain you. It should not pain you that much, because you have the ability to build the narrative of what the conflict is about. There are two sides. So Cameroon has to play its own masking in order to diminish and simplify the problem into something that they solve a problem into a problem they will create, and then solve that problem without solving this problem. It's part of so that's their game. No, that's their cup of tea. That's Cameroon's cup of tea.
Yeah,
as long as you don't make the Cameroon problem, Cameroon defining it their problem, that's their cup of tea. Let them go sell that to the international system. Where has a language been a language gotten into a conflict?
Yeah.
So that's why these are things that they should not bother us because we understand the game, and
Yeah,
that's why we have the media.
but at least we should find time to educate our people on this, because some of them still talk of that Anglophone problem, maybe ignorantly. They don't know that it's a flaw. So we have to let them know that this is not about it. This is not
We
about
will
it.
we will
I think,
we will have you on again
yeah,
some other time before
yeah,
Christmas so
yeah.
that we can take the time to educate Ambazonians on the importance of a narrative in solving a problem and resolving a conflict. And when people are misguided, when they are manipulated, when they are deceived, and we will run them through the schemes of Cameroon in terms of masking the problem, redefining the problem in the way that it's solvable to Cameroon. Remember,
Then
Cameroon wants to solve the problem in the context of Cameroon and not to solve the problem of the conflict.
that's why they are spending money on a thing called bilingualism. I think that is our problem.
No, that's Cameroon's problem.
That's not our
That's
problem. Bilingualism or whatsoever. That's bullshit.
But well, that's why you should. That's why we should not be carried away, because if that has given them the solution, then 7 years later they will not still be fighting, right? So whatever they think they are solving, it's also not working out for them. Their own propaganda, it's not working. Their misinformation is not working. Their narratives are not working. Their deception is not working. The only thing it's doing, it's also destroying Cameroon. So we'll like to talk to you again.
Yes, folks. I
Yes,
think
sir.
the studio is indicating that they have the audio of one Amazonian complaining about tax, and that as we call up the day, they would like to play it for our listeners to hear, and then
I think we will plead with the studio. It's important, but we will plead with the studio. We have that discussion in a context that fits that discussion. For today, you are the DDC. We wanted to have a conversation on the work that you've done, how far you've taken the Ambazonian people, the contributions that you have made, the leadership you've provided, the foresight, your experiences, the work that you've done. There are many Ambazonians today that are running their mouth on social media for mere relevance. There are many Ambazonians today call themselves leaders, fighting amongst themselves to deceive Ambazonians in a notion that does not even exist, called a new form of negotiation. On Tuesday, the Vice President of Ambazonian Governing Council will speak to the Ambazonian people on the nonsense and the abuse of this liberation struggle by traitors, and why Ambazonians need to be very watchful. There is a video of what the brave men and women on the ground, a video of another recent IED attack on Cameroon occupation forces. Let's watch that video, and then we'll give you space to give us your conclusive remarks. Studios, please play us a video from Ambazonia, capital of resistance. The video from Bamenda, the big IED that everybody is still talking about till today.
Nasi ana bamina daso. Shooting him so explosive down there explode nana so. Nasi simudu go. Metakwata. Nasi ana bamina daso. Shooting him so explosive down there explode nana so. Nasi simudu go. Metakwata.
Yeah, today na the 6th of December 2024. Yeah, Friday the 6th of December 2024. The one joint attack for Babanki and Bafut 7 Kata. Wounded squad live. That one. Now the harvest this way don't come back with them. Yes. Shishing no day. Yes. We return a semi-Cameroon government ceasefire. Yes. If they no ceasefire, we no ever drop weapon. Yes. If we never sit down for that table for dialogue, if United Nations never enter for look where they go on, what civilian then where they die, they rape our sister them, kidnap our pa them. Now only Cameroon terrorists and they do that one. If United States never look into this matter, we'll continue to kill till the last man standing.
Donkey man.
Jesus! Where?
No, they are still there. See. Yes, man.
No, what happened now? I said, what's happening with the killer?
Oh, no.
People are in here. Jesus!
Life. For afternoon.
Where them day? Where them day? Where them day? Where them day? Eh? Who's Mr. Pobia day? Who's Diongu today? They say the one can fight Ambazonian. Muff me there. Nyamkas. Did you see? You have the last word.
That thing don't start again.
You have the last word.
The lagging. Okay, that's fine. I hear you now. You see, like I said, these guys are not holding these weapons and fighting because there's so much love guns and there's so much love war. They are doing this because that is the only way for them to stay alive. They are doing this because that's the only way for them to have their territory back. They are doing this because that's the only way for them to protect their mothers and fathers, their sisters from being raped, and to protect La République from getting into our villages with impunity to commit their scorched earth policies, burn everything, and as they go along. We have seen that everywhere that they pass. That is the reason why your children are holding guns. We do not fabricate guns. We do not fabricate bullets, but you see them holding it because necessity had become the norm. And like Pass said in the La République Parliament, resistance must become a duty, and that is what
injustice.
Our children. Yes, when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes a duty. Yeah, and so resistance has become the duty, and that is why your children are defending you, because it is a duty. That is why we are out here trying to do our best to make sure that they defend you well, because it is our duty. That land is ours. We aren't taking it from Cameroon. Those who mapped that land, the Mina-Simon Agreement, and agreed that this is your boundary, that is your boundary, they didn't make a mistake. When Cameroon got her independence separately from us on the 1st of January 1960, it wasn't a mistake, it was by design. So let no one try to make us think that we were part of that hell called Cameroon, that piece of yam called Cameroon, when they had their independence on the 1st of January 1960. We were not a part of them. And when the Cairo Declaration said that boundaries attained at independence are invulnerable, it was by design. It was a law. And they should know that any treaty, that any boundary or territorial agreement that was bound by a treaty must be broken by a treaty. Until today, the Versailles Treaty was signed, sealing the boundaries between Cameroon and Ambazonia and Nigeria. Till today, there has been no treaty that has broken that treaty that was signed many years ago. So let nobody take you for a ride. Let nobody come to your house and claim ownership while you are still alive. May God bless us as you pay your 2025 taxes. That will help to make sure that our boys and girls defend homeland. And as we enter December, these fine men and women also need food. They are humans like us, and they need to be taken care of. So if you have any support for them, please contact the spokesperson, contact me, or contact any AGOVC leadership, and they will direct you on how you can be able to help these gentlemen and women to put food on their table. They also have kids, they have wives, they are people like you and I who have chosen to make sure that they sacrifice all for you and I. So let us make sure that we can sacrifice all also for them, because this thing is for us by us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, DDC. We'd love to have you again some other time before the holidays. Thank you so much for all you do for our people. May God continue to bless you, keep you safe, protect you and your family. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Spooks.
Fellow Ambazonians, thank you very much for being part of this journey. Thank you so much for being part of this program. We thank you so much for your contributions and for your sacrifices. We've done a lot. We've come very far. We will get it done. Have a good night. God bless you all.
During the 7th of December, National la République belgienne. National, General life. Shake in all day. I don't bump 'em. I don't scatter 'em. Second target. General life. Shake in all day. I see second target. I see second target. Day, 8 December. Yes. Namen sei dies. Kapo, WTF, Honda, DL, Nyih, Kapo, Yes. family como se condiz. Se define our daily capacity to narrative. But na family do that, you don't think now for take them. Na family do that, and we give make a know say this land, with the Ambaland, no be their land. They never just come so. And then that the interview too. That we see ya. Chega.
Welcome to ACN.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. I never knew I could be here. I want to be grateful to Anya and her wonderful team for a great initiative for people who are virtually unknown. It's been a long time that I have been struggling for freedom, the right to social democracy, freedom of assembly, free speech, and the protection of human dignity. I've been to jail, I've been tortured, but I said to myself, paying a price for a greater goal is worth more than anything for me. But one of the greatest challenges I faced in my life was when I was dismissed from the university. You can never understand what it means, because for us Africans, education is more than the right to become part of one of the schisms that we all aspire to join. For us, it's about freedom. We live in a communitarian society where we are each other's keeper. So when you are expelled from the university, it is a challenge not only to you as an individual, it's a challenge to your family. It's like a betrayal of the trust invested in you to pursue knowledge for the betterment of your people, your village, and for your own self. I was not only dismissed, I was banned from attending any other university in the country. Then I lost my right to stay in the country. My friends were in prison. I was a student of chemistry. But I decided in 2007, 13 years after I lost my right to education, I never had any chance, no support. No mechanism was in place to give people like us an opportunity to start it all over again. I decided I was going to study human rights, to be able to contribute to the freedom of my friends who were in prison, and to be able to contribute to the process of the protection of human dignity all over the world. I never had the chance. I had no sponsor. I had to apply for the German citizenship to be able to have the possibility to travel to London because I had a refugee status. I traveled to London. I slept in abandoned homes to be able to go to school. At one time, it was so difficult that this university asked me if I could step out, organize myself before I re-enrolled. I said, it's 15 years. I can't keep waiting. I slept from one abandoned home to the other until I moved to Norway, where I met here my fiancée and now my wife. I was flying every Tuesday from Torp Airport. I slept at Stansted Airport on the floor. I drove to London City with the bus. I attended lectures from 10 o'clock. I finished at about 2. I took the flight late at night back to Torp to be able to come and do Avis boat early in the morning, do cleaning in the afternoon to be able to survive because there was no mechanism to support. I was so happy when I graduated. I enrolled in international relations. Still no support. I left classes halfway to go and give papers to be able to survive. I've now enrolled to do a PhD in human rights law. Still no support. I have to do night shift, morning shift, afternoon shift, and evening shift so I can pay my fees. This is the journey when there is no support. Today we are all here because a great idea has been transformed from a dream to reality. And I was very happy when I heard the foreign minister spoke and the rector spoke, because these are people who can make it happen. I call myself a foot soldier. They are policy people. To be able to have accepted such a great idea is not surprising because we are here in Norway. It's a country that epitomizes more than just a dream for so many people. Very happy that many people would get this message. This program sends a message to those who dismiss me from the university, those who continue to oppress students all over the world, that some people listen from somewhere, and that you, the students who continue to struggle for democracy, for freedom of assembly, speech, and the protection of human dignity, you are not on your own. Someone, somewhere, somehow cares about you. And we are all happy to be here today. This journey has just begun. Let's keep walking until we make sure we can eradicate across the globe those systems of impunity that have made it impossible for so many young people to live their dreams. Thank you very much.
Pain. I see in your eyes anguish. I can read plastered on your faces uncertainty. But that uncertainty, anguish, and pain coexist with hope. Hope that one day we will be able to walk into a free homeland. We will be able to remember all those who have died in our name. We will be able to remember all those who have been raped because they fight for a free Ambazonia. You have come from all places. You've taken time from all your chores. You are here today because you are the true inhabitants of that place that was taken away from us. You have come here as soldiers of the revolution, the last people standing to defend our values, our customs, and our tradition. You've come here to send a message to those who have occupied our homeland, have raped our girls and turned our fathers into boys. that before they will occupy our land in the next 2 years, they will have to eliminate every Ambazonian from the planet Earth. 45 years ago, they instituted a concept of national unity. That concept coexisted with the destruction of our economic potentials. When we protested, they called us terrorists. They said they were standing for national unity. That national unity meant the destruction of our own potentials. It meant the elimination of our own leaders, our own patriot volunteers. The concept of nationality, of national unity meant we did not have a university, that we should go to Yaoundé and study in French in the name of national unity. It meant we could not have our own parliament because they thought asking us to sit in Yaoundé was the concept of national unity. They thought we didn't have a right to marketing board because we should depend on them because of the concept of national unity. They thought they would destroy our police forces and we should depend on their own protection on the concept of national unity. 45 years ago, they lied us. 45 years after, we have vowed as a people who have suffered tribulation, economic deprivation, political exclusion, pain, anguish, hopelessness, scattered and dotted in the capitals of Western places, being unsure what tomorrow holds for us, being unsure what our children will become, because we went to schools that was dedicated to the production of people who had no value. The bad schools which were just 4 walls to turn us into dependent, to turn us into hopeless people. The best schools that were prison walls where they could revise our history, educate us in their own history to make us slaves. They turn us slaves in the land of our birth. Until a young man called BBC Mancho took his coffin on the street and told Cameroon, give us freedom or give us death. We are here today with our own coffin to bury the concept of national unity, as our brother has said, 1,000 feet down the earth.
Yes!
Never again, Ambazonians. Never again, Ambazonians.
Never again.
Never shall we allow a people whom we thought were our brothers to steal our own pride, to steal our happiness, to treat us like a captured people, to build prisons where they could kidnap our young boys and young girls, transport them from our own city into their own capital. Never again shall we coexist with the people who have no respect for our own essentiality. Never again shall we live with a neighbor that exploits our resources to develop its own country. Never again shall we live with a state that considers us a liability, refuses to develop our own capabilities to become assets to ourselves and our homeland. Never again shall we tolerate a system that denies us the right to exist. Never again shall we let our children be tortured on the streets of our country. Never again, my people, shall we live in pain, shall we live in anguish, hopelessness. Never again shall we sit back and watch our women raped in hostels. Men of Ambazonia, I want you to take the battle block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood. If not for yourself, for our women, for our children, for all those mothers who cannot go to the market because we've imposed ghost towns, for those children who cannot go to school because they've given us an educational system that is a liability, for the lawyers who cannot go to court because they cannot speak the English language in our courts, for all of you sitting in asylum homes in dotted places, hopeless, not knowing what your future would be, whether you will end up in an old people's home or you will return to a land that is hopeless. You are here as soldiers of the revolution. Fight for your country. Never let anybody tell you it's impossible. I have come here as the commander of this revolution to to let you know that we will defeat Cameroon. We will not only defeat Cameroon, we will make it impossible for Cameroon again to ever invade our land. I have come here to assure you, to give you the assurances. A few months down the line, we will be able to make our country ungovernable for the Ekemas, the Muketes, the Atanganjis, all those who keep collaborating with the system, the Musonges, the Achidi Achus, all the parliamentarians who legitimize occupation in Yaoundé. If they cross the Mongo and the Matasin, that will be a one-way ticket to hell. We will make it impossible for them to ever return in our homeland, to legitimize a system that has brought us pain, unhappiness, anguish, uncertainty. It is the land of our birth. It belongs to you. For those people yet unborn, for those children who are not going to school, it is your right to exist. And you are here to let Cameroon, to let all those who support Cameroon, to let all those who tolerate this illegality know that our day shall come. The day we will be able to walk into our capital, build a system that responds to our needs, to our norms, customs, and values, that protect our children from hopelessness, that make our men real men, that give our women equal opportunity, that stop the woman. Today, 54 years ago, the United Nations General Assembly unanimously passed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Universal Declaration was an instrument to maintain justice and order in a world shattered with war and oppression. So we have come here today on the 10th of December in front of the Embassy of La République du Cameroon, the most corrupt country in the world, the most oppressed country in the world. We have come to protest. Today, we are assembled again, and we are standing far away from the oppressive embassy. The embassy has been surrounded by the German police. Do you want me to say the German police and the German state is playing a conspiracy role here or what? Why should Germany and why should the German police allow the embassy staff to use video cameras and audio cameras to film the protesters? Have they not learned from history? We will continue this struggle until freedom will ring for our people. We will never surrender because our cause is a just one. Wonderful. Wonderful. That was accepted by the police. So we want to do that. One person or three persons, yeah.
Ich habe mit einem Mitarbeiter der Botschaft gesprochen. Man erklärt sich bereit, diese Note dann am Zaun entgegenzunehmen. Ja? Wen möchten Sie denn da haben? Möchten Sie da jemand Bestimmtes haben?
Der Ambassador.
Der wird das persönlich nicht entgegennehmen. Es wird ein Mitarbeiter der Botschaft an den Zaun herantreten und das dann von Ihnen entgegennehmen und dann zum Botschafter weiterbringen.
Yes, the one.
Ist der hier? Wir haben vereinbart, dass wir das hier am Zaun abgeben. Das haben wir gerade drüben abgesprochen und so mit in Ordnung, dass wir das dann machen.
Let's do it. Come out.
No, let's do it. It's okay, no problem.
We have these prisoners that your government is keeping in jail. Not allowed because the camera is. Yes, I would like you to give it to your ambassador, the representative of the BR regime. Okay? Okay.
So what was the main purpose of this demonstration? To calm down the government?
And no,
Thank you. Remember those politicians, we need at least 100,000 of them, so that this house, hello, we need 100,000 petitions signed, so that this house may know how serious that we are about taking our country back. So if you have not passed that list round for people to sign, please do so and bring it back to us. Next on the line is somebody that you know really, really good. I really don't need to introduce him, but you know him, you've seen him, he believes in combat. Hello, Ambazonian! Blood by! I live here. Blood by! Put your hands together and welcome to Ever, please.
Block by block, rooftop by rooftop, my fellow Ambazonians, sons and daughters of the Ambazonian Revolution. It is not time to celebrate. This is war. It is not time to celebrate. They robbed you of your homeland. They took away your hope. They robbed you of the right to dream of a future in the country of your birth. They murdered your citizens. They transform your brain to think like a Cameroonian, to worship their flag, to sing their anthem, to pray, hope, and dream like a Cameroonian. They took away the land of your birth. They demonized you. They robbed you of hope, of a dream of a future that is better than the one you inherited. They killed your parents, turned your fathers into boys, raped your mom, made your sisters to be ashamed, robbed them in more. They sent you into exile. You lost your neighborhood. They dispersed your friends. You became delinquent in a land that you did not understand. They took away something so essential to your own existence that you live here with your body, but your spirit hovers without knowing where to land. They took away from us something so important that life became something we have rejected in this land. They took away from you a country that gave you hope, built the first democratic system where there was an electoral government change. They took away from you your economic system. They blockade your social system. They crumbled your economy so you could go into their own system to work for them. They made you drive through their own system so you could pay toll gate into their own system. They robbed you of your right to think, to hope, to have a future in the country of your birth. 243 years ago, the Americans told the British that their time of independence was now. They fought for 8 years, 4 months, and 15 days. They lost the Battle of Boston, but they won the war for the freedom of the United States. The South Africans face a nuclear power. They face a nuclear power country. Mandela said he is going to die for his people. He struggled in jail for 27 years because he didn't want to bequeath to the next generation something worse than he had inherited. He fought like a valiant soldier. The Eritreans humbled the Ethiopians, a more powerful Ethiopia supported by Libya and Russia. They fought in trenches, in gutter holes, on rooftop to be able to bequeath to the next generation something better. Your freedom is in your hands. It is going to be fought inch by inch, block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood, rooftop by rooftop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go.
Your freedom is in your hands. It is not going to be given to you on a platter of gold. I can assure you here from Washington, the land of our birth, the towns of Ambazonia will be liberated by the valiant soldiers who on a daily basis lay their lives, give their blood, deprive themselves of something more precious to make sure they can stand for our girls, for our children, for our mothers, for our fathers, to bequeath to the next generation a better country that they inherited. If this is the last thing you must give for your country, stand here in Washington and think of the freedom you enjoy. Think of the millions of Ambazonians who have not gone to school, those in jail. Think of Seseko, think of Deacon Tasang, think of Poundfo, think of Mancho BBC, think of Mami Abi. Are you ready to lay your life for Ambazonia? I can assure you, Ambazonians, we will build the most beautiful place on earth, a place that you would take pride in calling yourself a citizen, that will give to you a social system, an economic system, a political system you can be proud of. That is why we fight. We are ready to die for it, go to jail for it, so all of us as a people will be free someday. God bless you all. God bless Ambazonia. Would come here to tell the United Nations that the land they mortgaged to Cameroon will be recaptured by the brilliant people of Ambazonia. Right. Yes. That the complicity they had with the United Kingdom will be dampened. That your spirit, the indomitable spirit that has led you from your homes right here to this plaza, will not be extinguished by the banality of evil installed in our homeland. That the spirit that has awakened from the dusty street of Mutengene to the alleys of Bamenda will not be squashed by the brutality of Cameroon, the complicity of the United Nations, and the utter silence of the United Kingdom. For the blood of our people spilled for those who've gone before us, we stand like valiant soldiers to lay our lives to ensure that their blood wasn't spilled in vain, that they didn't die in vain, that the mothers who scream for their daughters, the fathers who are on shore where their kids are detained, wouldn't mourn in vain. I have come here as a soldier of the revolution. I have come here to assure you that this is just the first step to internationalize our struggle, to make the international community understand our pain, the pain of the mothers, the yearning of the fathers, and the doubts plastered on the faces of our kids, that the land, the 43 square meter land that we own, will not be mortgaged, will not be taken by any other country. that we are ready, that we will fight block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood, until the day, as the last speaker said, we will be able to install a government in Boya, a government for the Ambazonians, a government by the Ambazonians, that is going to speak for us, fight for us, make treaties for us. We are not going to allow an alien dominating power from Yaoundé to decide our future, decide the curriculum of our education, decide which language we speak in our courts. And if the lawyer said no, right from here in New York, we send a message to Yaoundé that we are ready for the gendarmes to be and all the evil spirits that have been installed in our homeland, that we will give our life for a free Ambazonia. That if this country was built on the blood of people from distant places, we are ready as soldiers of the revolution to make sure that one day, just one day, we have a homeland to call our own, a place to dwell in peace, a place where we as a people can decide our destiny. You've just got started. It's a long journey. Liberation is not a walk in the park, and I want you to be ready. Do not believe soothsayers who say you are just going to have it on a platter of gold. It's going to be a hard struggle. But the footprints you leave here today will be followed by those after us. They will know we were here. They will know we fought for them. They will know we died for them. They will know we did our part. And so they will use the same rope map to be able to inhabit a free country. If that's the only thing we can give our children, let's do it for Mother Ambazonia. I want to thank your leadership. I want to thank all those who've made it possible for me to be here. Together as a people, we will fight together, go to jail together, so one day we may be free together.
You can see that.
One Ambazonian. I'm a airport somewhere reporting from Babanki Tungo. Watch and see what is happening in the palace. You see the population? We have about 10,000 people here holding the flag. This is our flag. It shall remain here until the day that we have our independence. The day is not far from now. We know 1st October will be the same thing.
This is the phone of Daisy. He's there live. The phone of Daisy is live at the King Palace. Told is the oldest. He's the oldest in Norway's Amber's land. Amber land. The fall of Daisy. Kokum Richardson back. That is to show how he is very determined. The denizens are very reasonable because they know that victory is ours. Victory is here. Indeed. 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 This is the fall. You see the honor. The anthem of Amber land will, the anthems of the Amber will be sung by the young kids. Everybody will contribute to sing the anthem. Yeah.
The national anthem of Southern Cameroon.
Yeah. These are the takumbos. You see them, the takumbos. These are the kids. These are our kids. These are our kids. These are the kids of Besi that are going to sing the anthem. You see up, I said it, the Saudi colonial flag has been finally posted. If anybody is joking somewhere, they should know that the people of Besi, the denizens of Besi are not joking because the flag has been finally posted. And we are getting toward the 1st of October where we are to jubilate. We will celebrate. This is our form. He is the father. Nobody is above him. He is coming to crown it. You see these kids. These are our kids. These are our kids.
This system. And when the lawyers they be protest, they complain. It can't be in a Poland, they beat lawyers, they disgrace lawyers for public. So we don't look say we be making a marriage and that marriage you don't broke. We want to stand on our own. We don't want to join with them anymore. So we want to stand on our own, like our own country. We will build our country because when you look at our roads, all things come up for Sonara. Kotawe, it come up for Sonara. It be foreign for some areas like we are road, and if you look at no road, no quota, it go only for Frenchman. The price of petrol where it
That's the road he's talking about.
Price of petrol is high for here pass, even for Yaoundé where they don't get petrol. So we don't continue with that kind of marriage where people that only cheat we, then we will go be only for begin, follow them for back. So from today we don't decide say we will go stand on our own. We join our brothers in diaspora, we stand on our own from today. We no want to see green, red, yellow for our territory. We no want to see red cap for our territory.
Flag. Show
so
flag.
Our flag
Ambazonian
from
flag.
now Ambazonian.
MP of Bello, the MP of Bello, which is for the Boyer subdivision. She is here and she is leading the population. She's leading the population outside here, which is Wainanchi Honoring. She's here and she was taken red-handed by the population that went over there. As we can see, the world has to know that the people have done it their own part. The MP is involved. The whole people of the community is involved. Outside here for the news. Outside here for the news. We are getting everything involved and we are making sure that as the population march with a peace plan, let everything be for peace and let everything be for no violence and let everything be for the rights of the people. That is what the people of the Bello subdivision stand for at the moment now as the reports are going. I am Lekam reporting for the update at the peaceful march past today. This is the Honorable Wainanchi Lauren. honoring. She's leading the population a bit outside here, and the population are out here with them. As you can see, it is enough for the population, and that is what they are saying. And as you can see, they are saying, let my people go. These are the words of the marching lot. He said, let my people go. Go down to Yaoundé and tell Paul Biya to let my people go. It is time for the people to go. It is time for them to go. Freedom is what the people stand for now.
No violence, 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 no violence. The police have blocked people from going up to upstation. People are singing and no violence. They have come out with weapons, with unarmed civilians. Look at them. Those are the police people and the army. They are out trying to fight unarmed civilians. No violence, 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 no violence. This is what we want. No violence. This is what no violence. This is no violence. How many people for their cooking? How many people for their cooking? Oh, don't give me tired. Oh, don't give me tired. Oh, don't give me tired. How many people for their cooking? Restoration.
to take our independence by force.
So where would I go now?
We want to have a deal office. They don't go. We go no go. They start to take us to asking them. We want a peace. Mancho BBC must go out today.
Mancho BBC Cameroonians arrested. Must be released. Today must be released. We are not under Republic. We are not under the Republic of Cameroon. Thank you very much.
A peaceful revolt, because we need our freedom. Yeah, we need our freedom. They brought back, they want the violence. We will take that violence because many have died, and we are willing to die. They lost our sisters.
God is angry. Yes, very
anything but freedom. We need freedom, God.
Until this matter is settled to the end, before any school can resume in this southern Cameroon. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Time no reach. We need freedom. Freedom we need. Liberty we need. We don't need
freedom and we need employment. We don't have school.
Employment under which government?
Fighting for that freedom in the name of Jesus. We shall conquer. Ambazonian. Fighting for that freedom in the name of Jesus. We shall conquer. Ambazonian. Fighting for that freedom. In the name of Jesus, we shall conquer. Ambazonians, fighting for our freedom. In the name of Jesus, we shall conquer. Ambazonians, fighting for our freedom. In the name of Jesus, we shall conquer. Ambazonians, fighting for their freedom.
We need to maintain our culture and tradition that we inherited from our golden master Britain. We need them.
President cannot address a nation. 10 years, a president cannot address a nation. For almost 25 years now, I don't know how this campaign looks like. I have certificates, no job. Where is this nation going to? Are we going to die? No.
It is our duty. We will keep resisting them until our freedom is restored. Ambazonia has rise. One nation, united as one, we will conquer.
One spirit, one destiny. Today mark about a year since the project started. The rest of states don't do anything to solve the problem. We decided to come out massively.
But we will keep resisting them.
Today is our freedom. We today declare freedom in Ambazonian land. We are the capital of Ambazonian. Today is the end. Mr. Ambia give up the freedom. We marry it for 55 years under marginalization. Today we are free. Ambazonia, oh yeah?
Good afternoon. What is going on the street of Boya?
Voila. I'm just from my house. I wanted to come to the street.
Every man know English, man go try.
I'm just from my house to come to the street. I saw the children where they send them back home that they should not go to school again. And it's just true. Man like that, I'm standing there like this. My son is in a going nowhere. He's in the house. And I cannot be doing driving the taxi. They paid me 25,000 pounds. That's nothing. So I need the country to be changed. So they will pay me 40,000 for my job. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You know what?
Deux par les instructions, laissez les gens marcher, on va t'identifier. Tout le monde qui est descendu. Good morning. Good morning. Et ça, c'est un message qui est très très fort. This is one tough message. Ah, c'est la magie. Ça veut dire que the town has finally changed.
Thank you.
First order.
Our demonstration is peaceful.
Yes.
We want Cameroonians to be free.
Yes.
Saudi Cameroonians.
Yes.
If Mr. Biafra to be free,
yes.
Let us bring back marketing bots.
Yes.
Let us bring back our prisoners back.
Yes.
Let him come for negotiation table.
Yes.
We want Ambazonian to be free.
Yes.
We are not corrupted by the French.
Yes.